You may have already heard me refer to the AutoCAD shortcut menu. Now, it's normally known as the right-hand mouse button context-sensitive shortcut menu. So you can see why we just call it the shortcut menu for short, if you'll pardon the pun. Now, the shortcut menu, as it quite rightly says, is context-sensitive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in on this little area here of the drawing. We're still in the O1 exploring.dwg. So I'll just zoom in and you can see the restrooms there, and there's a little area here which is obviously some sort of kitchen or something maybe, and this might possibly be an open reception refectory area. Might be a college building, for example. So let's have a look at what happens when we start drawing in AutoCAD and what the shortcut menu does. Now it may be that I want to start drawing some walls, so I'm just going to hover over this line here, and it tells me that that is the eye wall layer, the internal wall layer. So let's go up to the layers here, and we'll look at layers in more detail later. And what I want is the eye wall layer to be current, so I'm drawing on the appropriate layer like that. Now I'm going to zoom in nice and close like that, and I want to draw either a line or a polyline to perhaps expand this wall this way to create a new internal wall here. So I go to the line command here, and that's on the home tab on the draw panel. And what I might do is I might utilize that endpoint there just for now and drag a line across. Now, as soon as I right click, there is a shortcut menu. Now, there are default entries on that shortcut menu, such as pan, zoom, steering wheels, and quick calc. However, the undo and the snap overrides are there to allow us to draft with the line command. So if I continue drawing, or perhaps click on enter, if I click on enter, that's the equivalent of pressing enter on the keyboard. Now, because I hadn't specified a second point of that line, it's the equivalent of just hitting enter halfway through the command, which closes the command out. So if I now click on line again, and come here like this and click there, and come across and click a second time, I've now got a line segment there. And as I move around, can you see it's asking me to do the next line segment, the angle, the distance, and so on. So if I right click now, it's context sensitive. If I undo, it undoes that last line segment, which is so much better than using the undo at the top on the quick access toolbar, because it only undoes the last segment. If I draw a segment like that, and then I hit escape like that, and then undo, it undoes the whole line, even if I've done loads of different segments. So if I click here and go 1, 2, bit of a weird wall, I have to say, but the whole idea is I right click, use the shortcut menu, enter, I'm finished. If I undo that now, it undoes all of the line segments rather than just the most recent one. So if I right click in the middle of the line command and just use the undo on the shortcut menu, it's context sensitive, so it only undoes the last line segment. So what happens now if I right click without a command present? As you can see, I get the default shortcut menu. The nice thing about this, I can repeat the last command, I can repeat recent input, I can use the Windows clipboard. I can isolate objects. So if I want to isolate an object now, for example, and I select, let's say, that line there, and I right click to confirm, it isolates the whole line, and that's it. Everything else has disappeared. If I now right click again and go to isolate and end object isolation, everything comes back. So there's some really neat tools on that shortcut menu. Let's go and look at a polyline, for example. Similar to a line, but with more features. If I click on the polyline command, again, home tab on the ribbon, draw panel, and I use the same process. I use that endpoint snap there, I click on it, and I just drag across and click again, and then I right click, you'll see it's context sensitive. I've now got all of my polyline tools, such as arc, half width, length, undo, width, and so on. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all of those. What I'm going to do is hit escape a couple of times and just cancel the command, and then I'm going to select the polyline. If I select that polyline, and I right click, again, I've got a whole new different set of commands on the shortcut menu. So I can erase, even though erase is up here on the modify panel. So the nice thing is I've got a right click shortcut menu with all of my editing tools as well when I select an object. So I'll just erase that line because I don't need it. Now the lovely thing is I can just double click on the wheel now, zoom extents, and I'm back out of the drawing, so to speak, and looking down on the whole plan. Now the good thing about this is the shortcut menu is just wonderful like that. And what it does is it actually allows you to use AutoCAD more effectively in a contextual environment, in the command that you're using. So make sure that you utilize that shortcut menu. It's a very effective tool in AutoCAD 2017.